We're making an old Southern favorite today, chicken and dumplings, and we're making it organic. Allie is back to help, and I'm so excited to show you this because, you guys, this is the most simple recipe ever. You're gonna use chicken stock, you're gonna use chicken, and you're gonna use Annie's biscuits, and that is it. We're gonna show you how to doctor it up a little bit, and we're gonna show you a couple other options, but those are your 3 ingredients. So I actually had chicken stock from a rotisserie chicken. You've seen my videos where I debone a rotisserie chicken and then I make my own stock. So that's what I had in the freezer. I had a huge thing of it that I needed to use up. And it actually has some chunks of chicken in it, but I didn't have quite enough for this dish. So we did use a pound of tenderloins, which we cut up into cubes. And that's what's sauteing right now in our pressure cooker. To this chicken that's in here, we have added about a teaspoon of onion powder, garlic powder, herb de Provence, okay, organic herb de Provence, which we got from Walmart, Great Value brand. If you have not seen Walmart's Great Value brand, they have a great line of organics and a lot of different things, so be on the lookout. This is actually what the logo looks like. All right, so be on the lookout for that. So teaspoon of garlic powder, teaspoon of onion powder, teaspoon of herb de Provence, and then salt and pepper to taste. And now to this chicken, we are adding a 1/4 cup of flour. Now, if you want gluten-free, just use your gluten-free alternative flour, but this is what's gonna thicken up like a roux, and it's gonna help our chicken and dumplings become more creamy and thicken that broth for us.
So at this point, we're starting to make the roux. We're adding our chicken stock in with the flour, and it's really important to make sure when you put that flour in there with the chicken, it is going to kind of start trying to stick to the bottom, but you want to try to mix it all in. You just don't want any white powdery anywhere, powdery flour, before you start adding in your stock. Then immediately start adding in the stock, because the flour will start to kind of brown, but that also does help develop flavor. So you can do that, and it's not like the end of the world if it gets a little too brown.
And similar to the corn chowder that we made the other night, we added some chicken stock, and then we're letting the flour thicken up, and then we add a little bit more chicken stock, let it thicken up again, and so forth. So exact same concept here. All right, so we added all of our stock, and we noticed that it's still a little bit thinner than we'd like. And so if you saw my chicken pot pie recipe video, then you'll remember that we used a little bit of flour and a little bit of water, and we made a slurry, is what it's sometimes called. So that's what we're gonna do and thicken this up a little bit more. So we've got a 1/4 cup of water and a 1/4 cup of flour, and you slowly mix it in, and then you just mix it up, get all the lumps out, and then continue adding flour, and then we're gonna dump it in there. So the slurry is made. If you end up with it a little bit too thick because you've used a 1/4 cup of the flour and a 1/4 cup of water and it's not quite enough, just add some more water. But you basically want that slurry, and then we are gonna mix it into here.
You want it pancake batter consistency, not dumpling thick.
Yes, that's a very good description.
But that will help thicken up the gravy.
And then while that's thickening up, you can go ahead and cut up your biscuits. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna cut them down the center, and then you're gonna cut them once, twice, and a 3rd time, all right? So you're gonna end up with 8 pieces, just like this, that we're gonna dump into our broth. So that slurry worked exactly how we wanted it to. And these biscuits, the biscuits are going to thicken it up a little bit too. They're gonna puff up. So all of them are cut and they're ready to go. We left the salt and pepper out because you're still gonna want to salt and pepper to taste. So just taste it periodically, see how the gravy's doing. And if you need to add salt and pepper, feel free.
And just the way Patrice is throwing these dumplings in, you wanna make sure they're separated, because otherwise they'll clump together and just kind of make this big old hard ball. And you don't want a giant dumpling, you want it all mixed in there. So kind of as you're adding, you wanna mix. Just toss them in, and they'll come to the surface and rise, and they'll cook for, like, literally it takes probably 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You'll see though, they'll start to look like dumplings.
And then once we've put everything in, you can switch this from saute to slow cook mode, all right? So cook it on saute, and then convert it to slow cooker, and you can just let it go for a couple hours. So all the dumplings are in. We're just gonna let this go on slow cook for a while until we're ready to eat, probably another 30 minutes. You could do all kinds of things to this. You could add diced potatoes if you wanted to. You could add mixed vegetables if you wanted to thicken it up. You could serve it over mashed potatoes. You can really do whatever you want with this dish. But here's your quick and easy organic chicken and dumplings.